Tonight, Hawaii on fire.
All of those buildings are gone. The elementary school is gone. Just total devastation in Lahaina town.
And you believe that your home is also...
Oh yeah, my home's gone.
Wildfires burn across Maui, prompting mass evacuations, roadblocks, and travel standstills as hospitals are overwhelmed with burn victims. We'll have a view from the ground. Plus, the FBI raid that turned into a deadly shootout after a man made threats against President Biden and those involved in prosecuting Donald Trump. How a visit from the FBI escalated into a shootout and what made the assailant's threat so urgent. And
it was a concrete jungle, that's what it was. And so just think about it. All of a sudden, thousands of kids learn these magnificent tools.
We're on a journey to hip-hop's 50th anniversary and take a look at the dance form known as breaking, its evolution from street dance to Olympic sport with one of its founders. Good evening, everyone. I'm Lindsay Davis. Thank you so much for streaming with us. We're following those stories and much more, including relief tonight. An American mother and her young daughter released after being taken hostage in Haiti last month. Plus, she was a teen rapper and viral sensation. Tonight, fans are mourning her loss, the death of internet personality Lil Tay, and what her family is saying about her sudden death. Ginger Z takes us behind the technology that could quite literally make water out of thin air. And they saved GameStop, but could amateur traders do the same for Tupperware? We report on why the decades-old food container is now suddenly the latest meme stock by the numbers. Our correspondents are fanned out across the country covering those stories and more for us tonight. But we begin with the urgent situation in Hawaii as a fast-moving and deadly inferno has sparked a desperate evacuation. Some people literally jumping into the Pacific Ocean to try to escape the approaching flames. The wildfire on the island of Maui exploded in size after gusty mountain winds were amplified by Hurricane Dora, which is moving across the Pacific hundreds of miles to the south. The stark reality tonight, at least 6 people are dead, and parts of the town of Lahaina and its historic district, which is very significant to Native Hawaiians, have burnt to the ground. People who call this place home for generations may now lose their homes, and there are those who thought that they would have a peaceful vacation in a place some call paradise. Instead, they're having to rush to safety. Our team witnessed tourists in Los Angeles frantically trying to leave a plane bound for Hawaii. We're standing by to talk with a helicopter pilot who's witnessed the devastation from above. But first, Gio Benitez leads us off from on the ground in Hawaii.
Tonight, the harrowing race to escape the wind-whipped inferno exploding in Maui. Terrified families desperately fleeing the flames and smoke-filled streets. Homes all around burning to the ground. Moments ago, officials confirming at least 6 people losing their lives. 6 fires erupting on the islands of Maui and Hawaii Tuesday, destroying hundreds of homes and businesses, forcing mass evacuations, at least a dozen people jumping into the ocean to get away in Lahaina.
Lahaina is on fire.
Apocalyptic scenes in that popular tourist town and historic cultural landmark home to 12,000 people. Steve Scott desperately trying to fight back the flames. And you were essentially trapped in the middle of the fire.
Right. I was with a hose shooting it up, trying to protect our building, and plantation house, all of that blew up.
Getting separated from his wife.
I'm trying to find my wife. I know she's safe. I think she's safe, but I haven't found her yet.
And you can see the powerful winds here right now. You could also see that dry terrain that quite literally created the perfect storm for a fire this devastating. And right here, this is the one road in and out of Lahaina, making it incredibly difficult to just get out. Lahaina's iconic front street with buildings dating back to the 1700s ravaged by flames. Dustin Johnson describing the moment he escaped.
I was the last one off the dock when the firestorm came through the banyan tree and took everything with it. And I just ran out to the beach and I ran south and I just helped everybody I could along the way.
Officials say that 150-year-old banyan tree, treasured by both locals and tourists alike, is gone.
If you got someplace to go, someone's house.
Okay, we will.
KITV meteorologist Malika Dudley dropping everything, evacuating with her family from Kula.
There was a red glow outside of our window. The fire was right above our property.
Oh my gosh, look at the harbor.
Daylight revealing the scope of the devastation here. Aerial video showing home after home destroyed.
We were not prepared for what we saw. It was It was heartbreaking. It looked like an area that had been bombed in a war.
Authorities saying 911 services down in some areas. Hospitals are overwhelmed with burn patients.
Buildings are charred. Fires are not completely contained, and there's still fear that the fires would go into different communities.
Still so much concern that they are not quite out of the woods just yet. Gio Benitez joins us now from Maui. Gio, we know that the National Guard is assisting local authorities. What are officials telling tourists tonight?
So, Lindsay, officials are telling tourists who are here on the island to get out as soon as possible. We know right now that airlines are adding more and more flights to get people out safely, so they want that to happen. But they're also telling people not to come to Maui, and that's because resources are just so limited here on the island. And as we've reported here tonight, so many people, hundreds of people, are stranded at the airport tonight, Lindsay.
Gio, I just want to get a sense, because we do see people in the water swimming behind you. Are there portions where it is business as usual, life is normal?
Yeah, so this is actually the Wailea area where we are right now. Lahaina is actually in the distance. You can see sort of the mountain there. It's just behind there. So in this area, a lot of people who were over there have actually come here. We know at this hotel, they've actually taken some people in. And so those are some of the people who have been brought in and brought to safety and to seek shelter here at this hotel. There are some areas that are safe right now. But again, the worry here is that these fires kick up again and start up again all over Maui.
All right, Gio, our thanks to you, and of course, stay safe. And now we want to turn to someone who you just heard there, who got a direct view of some of Maui's worst devastation. Helicopter pilot and business owner Richard Olston flew over the Lahaina area earlier. He joins us now. Richard, thanks so much for talking with us. Just describe for us what you saw today.
Well, first of all, last night we saw bits and pieces on the news of some fires in Lahaina, and we knew there would be some devastation, but we had no idea that what we saw, what we were going to see. It was just devastating. We started from the south side, from Puamana, and all the way up almost to the Hyatt Hotel. The entire Front Street area just burnt to the ground. The whole historic section of Lahaina town, the old buildings and so forth, all gone. The business section, all gone, and hundreds of homes. So it was very difficult to view that. We were flying over there to see if there was some way that we could help the people on that side of the island in emergency, but we had no idea that we'd see such a devastation. I've flown on Maui for 52 years, and I've never seen anything like that in the fires that we've had before. Where our heart goes out to the hundreds of people that are displaced from their homes and the businesses and their jobs that they won't have now because of the loss of the buildings and the businesses. Just, it looks like a bomb went off, or it looks like the whole area was bombed. It looks like a war zone.
We heard you say earlier that you just were not prepared for what you ultimately saw. Of course, Lahaina is not only a popular tourist destination, it was the capital of the Hawaiian Kingdom and is now a national historical landmark. For local people there, just how devastating of a loss is this?
Well, that's huge. My wife is Hawaiian, and our family, you know, and they're just devastated at the loss of this historical sites because they can't be replaced. These were buildings that, you know, have existed for hundreds of years, and now they're gone, not replaceable. So it's really, really sad.
Your company usually does helicopter tours, but will you now have to pivot to helping out with the rescue or recovery efforts?
We've offered our services to the mayor in any way that we can possibly help. There is the National Guard has been called and activated, I believe, and the Windward Aviation is still dropping water on fires in the area there. And yeah, we've offered our service to do whatever we can to help the community, as we've been serving this community for over 30 years, and we want to do our part.
As you talk with your family, friends, neighbors, co-workers there today, how are people processing what's happened there? Just so much loss so suddenly.
When we woke up this morning, and then when we saw what we saw, it's even hard to process that because it's such devastation. We have employees here that have relatives that they still haven't been able to get in touch with, and not knowing their status. So it's very difficult for everybody. It's even hard to accept that it's reality.
Yeah, we can understand why. Our hearts certainly go out to you and the people of Maui. Richard Olston, we thank you for talking with us. We're certainly going to be thinking of you and all the people affected by this fire tonight.
Thank you.
Next tonight, the FBI announced that they have shot and killed a Utah man while trying to arrest him in connection with threats against President Biden just hours before the president was set to arrive in Utah. The criminal complaint listed his alleged violent social media posts and online suggestions that he planned to take action. Mola Lange reports.
Tonight, just hours before President Biden's arrival in Utah, the FBI says a Provo man was fatally shot as agents tried to arrest him for threatening to assassinate the president. Authorities say 75-year-old Craig Robertson made credible threats, posting to social media just 3 days ago. "I hear Biden is coming to Utah, digging out my old ghillie suit and cleaning the dust off the M24 sniper rifle. Welcome, buffoon-in-chief." A federal complaint revealing dozens of Robertson's posts, including pictures of an arsenal of weapons, images of Robertson dressed in camouflage clothing, armed with a long-range rifle, and multiple references to killing the president. The FBI says its investigation also uncovered threats against law enforcement and other public officials, including Vice President Kamala Harris, Attorney General Merrick Garland, and California Governor Gavin Newsom. After a months-long investigation, the FBI moving in early this morning.
The tipping point to me was President Biden was coming. He was going to be in close proximity, and this individual looked like he was on a planning path to carry out the attack.
Well, an official tells ABC News the FBI's investigation into Robertson began back in April. The Secret Service was notified in June, and that Robertson was making plans to take physical action. The president was briefed about the deadly incident earlier today, Lindsay.
All right, Mola, our thanks to you. Now to new developments in the investigations involving former President Trump. ABC News has learned that Special Counsel Jack Smith obtained a search warrant for Trump's Twitter account. And for the first time, we're now seeing what prosecutors call the fraudulent elector memo, laying out the strategy that led to January 6th. Here's ABC's Chief Justice Correspondent Pierre Thomas.
Tonight, ABC News has obtained a key piece of evidence referencing Special Counsel Jack Smith's indictment of Donald Trump for alleged election interference. The evidence, a memo from attorney Kenneth Chesebro, whom ABC News has identified as likely being co-conspirator number 5. The special counsel describes the document, first obtained by the New York Times, as a fraudulent elector memo, saying it was designed to create a fake controversy that would derail the proper certification of Biden as president-elect on January 6th. The memo, according to the special counsel, involved a scheme to send slates of so-called fake electors to Washington to falsely claim that Trump had won in their states. In the memo dated December 6, 2020, Attorney Chesebro appears to acknowledge his idea of sending alternate slates of electors might not be legal. At one point writing, "I recognize what I suggest is a bold, controversial strategy." And the memo makes clear that the plan was for then Vice President Pence to stop the certification of Joe Biden as president in its tracks, suggesting that Pence take the position that it is his constitutional power and duty alone as president of the Senate to both open and count the votes. Pence and most legal scholars say he had no such authority to block certified election results.
The first time I heard in early December somebody suggest that as vice president I might be able to decide which votes to reject and which to accept, I knew that it was false.
Pierre Thomas joins us now. Pierre, there was also a development today related to Trump's Twitter account. What's the latest there?
Lizzie, tonight, more signs of just how aggressive the special counsel has been. Newly released court documents show that Smith obtained a search warrant to look at all the data from Trump's Twitter account from the time he lost the election through January 6th. The goal, likely to learn more about Trump's mindset during that critical period, Lindsay.
All right, Pierre Thomas for us. Thanks so much, Pierre.
Pleasure.
There is a new health scare tonight for Senator Dianne Feinstein. The 90-year-old California Democrat tripped and fell at her home in San Francisco. Her office says that she went to the hospital briefly for tests and is now back at home. But it does come amid growing concerns about the senator's health and just how fit she is to serve. Here's ABC's Mary Bruce.
Tonight, California Senator Dianne Feinstein is recovering after tripping over a chair at her home in San Francisco, according to her staff. Her office says the 90-year-old briefly went to the hospital yesterday afternoon as a precaution after a minor fall. All of her scans were clear, and she returned home. It comes amid growing concerns and debate over the health and age of lawmakers in Congress and their ability to serve.
Hi, everybody.
The oldest member of Congress, Feinstein, was hospitalized earlier this year for a severe case of shingles and then encephalitis, an inflammation of the brain, returning to work in May after a 3-month absence. And just weeks ago, Feinstein appeared confused during a routine vote.
Senator Feinstein.
The senator mistakenly starting to read a statement.
I would like to support a yes vote on this. It provides $823 billion.
Until an aide and a fellow senator stepped in to guide her.
Yeah, just say aye. Okay, just aye. Thank you.
Feinstein's office saying the senator was preoccupied and didn't realize debate had just ended and a vote was called. Now, Feinstein has already said she will not be running for re-election in 2024, but this is the oldest Senate in over 100 years, and it is sparking a renewed debate over age restrictions and term limits. Lindsay.
All right, Mary Bruce for us. Thanks so much, Mary. The Biden administration announced today it would launch an online portal that will map emergency medical services responses to heat-related illnesses across the country, called EMS Heat Tracker. It will help ensure that outreach and medical aid reach the people who need it most and help decision makers prioritize community resilience investments like where to plant trees, build parks, cool roofs, and establish cooling centers. And now to Russia, where a powerful explosion on the ground of a factory outside of Moscow injured 57 people and killed 1 person. It came just hours after Russia shot down 2 drones over Moscow. ABC Chief Foreign Correspondent Ian Pannell has more.
Tonight, a massive explosion ripping through a military plant outside Moscow. A huge smoke cloud rising above the site. These dramatic images capture other industries, surrounding houses and windows shattered. 60 were injured and at least 8 missing, 1 person later dying in the hospital. The official explanation that this was a fireworks site that exploded. But a retired military explosives expert telling ABC News while it could be fireworks, it seems unlikely. And this video circulating online showing what appears to be a military shell nearby.
Lindsay, when this happened, blame quickly pointing towards Ukraine, but now Russia ruling that out. But it does show the psychological impact that these recent drone strikes are having inside Russia. Lindsay?
Ian, thank you. An American mother and her young daughter are finally free after being taken hostage in Haiti late last month. American nurse Alex Dorsonville and her young daughter were kidnapped just outside of Port-au-Prince on July 27th. According to UNICEF, in the first 6 months of this year, a reported 300 children and women have been kidnapped in Haiti. In the Bahamas, a Georgia mother is accused of plotting to kill her husband. She's now been released on a $100,000 bail. Lindsay Shiver, a 36-year-old mother of 3, was arrested last month and arraigned on murder conspiracy charges. Prosecutors say Lindsay, her alleged lover, and would-be hitman hatched a plan to kill on July 16th. Shiver was released today following a court appearance with her alleged co-conspirators. And there's still much more ahead to get to on Prime tonight. Fans are mourning the life of an internet star who died at only 14 years old. What Lil Tay's family is saying about the circumstances around the death of the young rapper and her brother. But next, in our Prime Focus, it could be a groundbreaking step toward improving access to clean water. Our Ginger Z explores how water is being created out of thin air.
It's coming out. And I can just drink this right away?
Totally.
Wow. It's hard for people to conceive of. You can make water from the water in the air.
Whenever news breaks.
The crush of families here in Poland.
Here in Kentucky, no match for the tornado.
From Monterey Park, California, on the ground in Ukraine.
Reporting from Uvalde, Texas.
ABC News Live is right there everywhere.
From the scene of that deadly missile strike in Dnipro, Ukraine.
Reporting from the earthquake in Turkey.
From Charleston, South Carolina, on the 2024 campaign trail.
From Kathmandu, Nepal.
In Truckee, California, covering record snowfall.
Traveling with the president in Mexico City.
Wherever the story.
Here at this airport in Tampa, it's already shut down.
Reporting from the nurses on the picket line.
Reporting from Jerusalem.
Here at 10 Downing Street in London.
Streaming live to you.
Wherever the story is.
Wherever the story is.
Wherever the story is. We're going to take you there.
You're streaming ABC News Live.
ABC News Live.
You're streaming ABC News Live.
ABC News Live. Streaming free everywhere. America's #1 streaming news.
first thing in the morning.
There's a lot going on.
Everybody in that home is okay.
To catch you up with what happened overnight. We are here at fashion's biggest night out.
What's happening today? YouTube has unveiled a new set of policies.
What people are talking about, the new ad campaign.
Fast, straightforward.
With some fun in between.
A real-life Barbie dream house.
A name change for the Wienermobile.
First thing in the morning.
America This Morning.
America's #1 early morning news.
On ABC News Live.
All right, here we go. You ready? Let's do it.
Yes, it's the show America wants and America needs right now.
This is What Would You Do? Let's go. How are you? Yes.
So what will you be watching Saturdays on ABC News Live?
What would you do?
Hey, I guess I just found out.
The What Would You Do Marathon, 2 to 6 Eastern, every Saturday on ABC News Live.
My favorite show.
Welcome back, everyone. 2 billion people worldwide do not have access to clean water. But what if you could make water literally out of thin air? The technology actually exists and is already helping communities around the world get access to clean water. But can families actually rely on it? ABC's chief meteorologist and managing editor of our climate unit, Jeezy, files this in-depth report in tonight's Prime Focus.
Across this desolate, dehydrated land in the Mojave Desert, the first drops of water made out of thin air. A new innovation for a small but now famous community. Their groundwater was poisoned decades ago.
What the people who lived around here didn't know was that the water they were drinking, bathing in, and letting their children play in was contaminated with a dangerous chemical, chromium-6.
Tell me, what are these stairs?
These are my stairs going up to my house. You can see where all that was my house up back here.
Roberta Walker. Her name you may not know, but her story you likely do.
That's not what our doctor said. He said that, well, that one's got absolutely nothing to do with the other.
In the 2000 Hollywood film, Erin Brockovich.
But PG&E paid for that doctor.
This is public road.
Roberta was the real-life woman that worked with the real-life Erin to file lawsuits alleging that California energy giant PG&E contaminated drinking water sources in and around the town of Hinckley, California, and nearby Kettleman City with a carcinogenic form of chromium. The company settled the suits, agreeing to pay about $628 million. She takes us back to those memories as she was raising her daughters. Did they have symptoms, the girls, originally? Were they in the nosebleeds?
Yeah, the nosebleeds. My daughter, blood would come out of her eyeballs.
Despite the 3 decades that have passed since that original lawsuit, the dangerous chemicals still haunt this town. That's got to be so upsetting.
It is.
The movie ended, the story doesn't.
No, we didn't take, a giant down. All we did was wake him up, And it's just so sad that people think that we are walking around with $5 million, when we didn't even get a fraction of that.
These stairs are all that's left of Roberta's second home, the dream home she built after the movie.
We were here up until 2020. We had to move again.
And you had to move again because?
The plume had moved northwest of PG&E, and it hit our land again.
You've had to move twice.
We were hit by the same,
because of PG&E's plume.
Same gun, different bullet.
Even though PG&E bought most of the homes dotting the now deserted alfalfa farmlands of Hinckley, about 300 people still live here. Largely because Hinckley, as you can imagine, now boasts some of the most affordable land in the state.
And that's what's so upsetting, because that's where PG&E is still affecting people in other ways, not just the contamination, but they didn't buy all the land. So people who live here, who still own land, they can sell it to other people. They're taking advantage of people that can't afford to buy or build anywhere else or even rent anywhere else because this is the cheapest place you can go.
Because it's a toxic...
Because it's a toxic wasteland. That is what, not my words, those are the words from the assessor's office.
But amid this toxic wasteland, down the street from what's left of Roberta's dream home, another home still stands. And what might sound like a pipe dream is becoming reality.
Behind us is the first source hydro panel system here in Hinckley, California.
Safe drinking water, made out of thin air.
It's coming out. And I can just drink this right away?
Totally.
Wow. It's hard for people to conceive of. You can make water from the water in the air. How much?
Absolutely. So our team of researchers at Arizona State University like 10 years ago tried to say, how can we take the principles of renewable energy and apply it to drinking water? And what they developed was the hydro panel, which uses a clever combination of a special material that absorbs hydrogen and oxygen, as well as a really clever thermodynamic process to get not only energy from the sun, but heat from the sun to make hot air. And that combination allows us to convert the vapor in the air into liquid drinking water without needing any power or water connections at all. You can quite literally, put these on the ground, point them towards the sun, and make your own drinking water.
It's a fresh way to get safe drinking water in a community that just can't touch the groundwater. This hydro panel relies solely on the sun and the moisture in the air.
And then in its base is where it condenses and then it pumps up here.
Yeah, the internal water storage tank inside each of these units. So each one of these holds about 60 water bottles worth of water. And again, there's no power plugging these things in anywhere. Right, there's no water connection anywhere. This is a fully off-grid autonomous technology.
Hydro panels have brought drinking water to some of the most rural communities, like deep in Navajo Nation, where it is so sparsely populated, it's basically like one person every 6 miles. About 40% of Navajo families have no running water at all. Many are forced to drive, often for hours, to either gather water or buy it from the store. But the Navajo government contracted the installation of hydro panels on more than 500 homes.
There are so many places around the world that could utilize this.
We have source panels in over 50 countries globally around the world, trying to work with communities to really understand the dynamics to help solve their water problem. But as you said, right, there's a lot of acute drinking water challenges that don't allow people to drink what comes out of their tap, and so they have to go buy it in a plastic bottle.
Now, a hydro panel system lasts up to 20 years and costs about $4,000 up front.
It's about 15 cents, so it's about 7.5 cents a water bottle. So again, more cost-effective currently than commercially available bottled water.
But some will say it is not a one-size-fits-all solution.
It may be fitting for some cases, but not for others, just like any other, technology.
Dr. Yoram Cohen is the director of the Water Technology Research Center at UCLA, and he says depending on where you want to build the hydro panels will determine the success.
The key issue is how much would it cost? One has to think about it seriously, whether that's a sustainable solution, because if you are in an area where you have no water whatsoever, the question is, why would you want to actually develop residential? I think for hydro panels, it will produce somewhere between maybe 3 liters to 5 liters per day. A human being requires 2 liters a day. And you have to look at the cost. How much are you paying for a liter of water?
30 miles east of water-starved Hinckley.
It's wonderful to meet you.
Nice to meet you, too.
I'm Ginger.
Maria.
Nice to see you. Hi.
Maria Monroy welcomes the innovation because it's all about comfort and having safe water for her family to drink.
There you go. Okay.
Maria and her family have been understandably weary of their water. And they still use the tap for cleaning and showering. But like millions of Americans, they rely on bottled water.
There you go.
She says after they saw what happened in neighboring Hinckley, her family chooses to spend money on bottled water, and it's a huge expense.
How far do you have to go to get bottled water?
It's like 20 to 30 minutes. Yeah, probably 30 minutes.
So when what sounded like a miracle showed up, they said, please.
Kind of a wild concept.
Yes.
Especially in the desert.
Yes, where we need it.
Yeah. What's your hope for these and for do you imagine that you would see them in more places, more properties?
You know what? Yes, hopefully other people do want to get them in their properties and be able to rely on it.
The problems don't end at Hinckley. From Jackson, Mississippi to Flint, Michigan, there are communities all over the U.S. that can't drink their groundwater. Or probably shouldn't.
Do you have a lot of hope?
You have to have hope. You know, you have to pray and have hope that there's going to be change in this world and that somebody, somewhere, somehow is going to figure out a way of cleaning up this land, you know, with the water, the air, everything. But will I see it in my time? You know, I don't think so. But I hope that it will happen for my kids and my grandkids.
Hopefully sooner than later. Our thanks to Ginger for that. Still much more to get to tonight on Prime. Coming up, a Florida mayor goes on vacation and discovers a criminal act. The surprising find she made while fishing. And as we commemorate 50 years of hip-hop, we look at the moves that became ingrained in the dance culture known as breaking, how it sprang from the streets of New York City.
It was a concrete jungle, that's what it was. And so just think about it. All of a sudden, thousands of kids learn these magnificent tools.
But next, just months ago, Tupperware was believed to be on its way out. Now the stock is soaring. We take a closer look at what's leading to this change by the numbers.
With so much at stake, so much on the line, more Americans turn here than any other newscast. ABC News World News Tonight with David Muir, America's #1 most watched newscast across all of television.
This is ABC News Live.
The crush of families here in Poland.
At refugee centers
In Putin's Russia.
On the ground in Ukraine.
Close to the front line.
From the capital. Destructive Cat 4 storm.
Along I-5.
Boston is in the bullseye. Let's go.
ABC News Live, America's #1 streaming news. Anytime, anywhere. Streaming 24/7, straight to you for free.
Thank you for making ABC News Live America's #1 streaming news.
From America's #1 news comes the all-new ABC News app. Breaking news, incredible video, faster, smarter, and customizable to your interests. If you love being in the know, you're gonna love this. Experience the all-new ABC News app. Download it now.
Next Wednesday.
When you say you're going to get married on Good Morning America?
I haven't said it out yet.
Say it out loud.
Okay, I'm saying yes to marriage.
You better set a date.
You're invited to one joyous bachelorette party. Celebrate Robin and her fiancé Amber right before they say I do. From how they first met to right now.
Hi. The rest is history.
Feel the love. And oh yeah, party.
Yeah, let's do this.
Next Wednesday, only on GMA.
First thing in the morning.
There's a lot going on.
Everybody in that home is okay.
To catch you up with what happened overnight. We are here at fashion's biggest night out.
What's happening today? YouTube has unveiled a new set of policies.
What people are talking about, the new ad campaign.
Fast, straightforward.
With some fun in between.
A real-life Barbie dream house.
A name change for the Wienermobile.
First thing in the morning.
America This Morning.
America's #1 early morning news.
On ABC News Live.
It was the ideal marriage. Little did I know I was married to a man who had done something so horrible that it would devastate our lives forever.
Teacher of the Year is now charged with sex crimes.
Only on Hulu.
He was living a double life.
The shocking story behind a #1 true crime podcast.
Prostitutes, escorts. He even cheated on me the week of our wedding.
Betrayal, the perfect husband.
He had a lot of fantasies.
Now streaming only on Hulu.
When I got sent to Idaho to cover the murders of 4 college students, it was a story that didn't make any sense. 4 students stabbed to death in their beds while 2 roommates were home.
You gotta think to yourself, okay, who's the target and how many people would a man go through to get to his target?
I'm Kana Whitworth with ABC News. This is the story of savage murders, a determined small-town police force, and a scholar of crime. This is the King Road Killings. The full series is out now. Listen to every episode wherever you get your podcasts.
This is where the newsmakers come first in the morning to be heard. America's #1 morning show.
How would your mom feel about your relationship with your brother now?
I can't imagine what it feels like to go from $20 billion to $100,000. Yeah. Are you worried about going to jail?
You write that you had low-grade depression. How'd you get out of that?
Wherever the story, ABC's Good Morning America is right there.
Reporting from the earthquake in Turkey, I'm David Muir. Wherever the story, we'll take you there. You're streaming ABC News Live.
Welcome back, everyone. Just months ago, Tupperware was left for dead, a relic of a lost time. So why is its stock now soaring, closing at $4.24 today, 7 times higher than just a few months ago? We have a look at the food storage container that made leftovers a way of life by the numbers. 77 years ago, a chemist by the name of Earl Tupper introduced the containers inspired by paint can lids in order to help families preserve food and save money. Sales were slow until 1951, when he brought on Brownie Wise, who was already hosting patio parties to sell household goods as general sales manager. By 1954, largely by word of mouth, Tupperware had recruited 20,000 private contractors. After that, Tupperware parties with hosts selling directly to their social networks boomed for decades. But times changed, and despite efforts to reinvent itself, 4 months ago, Tupperware stock bottomed out at 61 cents, and the iconic brand was preparing for the end. Enter another sign of the times, and a more than 500% rise in share prices. Individual investors jumping in on the meme stock appear to have given Tupperware a new life, or at least enough capital to negotiate a deal with creditors, which includes $21 million in new financing, an extension on the deadline to pay back about $348 million in debt, and a $55 million reduction in the amount it owes. While things are looking up for Tupperware, at least at the moment, experts warn that investing in meme stocks can be risky and that Tupperware faces a steep climb to recovery. And we still have much more ahead here on Prime. A former NFL wide receiver is sentenced in a deadly drunk driving crash, what the victim's family had to say in court today. And he's known as the Snowman, a rapper who paved the way in trap music. Jeezy Jenkins tells us how he's now choosing to share stories many of his fans have never heard. But first, a look at our top trending stories on abcnews.com.
What does it take to be America's #1 news? It takes asking the straightforward, tough questions.
Do you believe that Donald Trump should ever be president again?
How would your mom feel about your relationship with your brother now?
I can't imagine what it feels like to go from $20 billion to $100,000.
Yeah.
Are you worried about going to jail?
You write that you had low-grade depression. How'd you get out of that?
The news-making interviews.
You said that there were 6 friends. One of them was sick.
Yeah.
Do you have future political aspirations?
Going to the front line.
The search for survivors. How does this war end?
And getting to the heart of the story.
Thank you for being here. We'll be here for the long run.
ABC News, #1 in the morning, the #1 newscast, #1 in daytime talk, Friday nights, Sunday mornings versus the competition, and the #1 streaming news. Thank you for making ABC News America's trusted, straightforward first choice.
First thing in the morning.
There's a lot going on.
Everybody in that home is okay.
To catch you up with what happened overnight. We are here at fashion's biggest night out.
What's happening today? YouTube has unveiled a new set of policies.
What people are talking about, the new ad campaign.
Fast, straightforward.
With some fun in between.
A real-life Barbie dream house.
A name change for the Wienermobile.
First thing in the morning.
America This Morning.
America's #1 early morning news.
On ABC News Live.
This is ABC News Live.
The crush of families here in Poland.
At refugee centers.
In Putin's Russia.
On the ground in Ukraine.
Close to the front line.
From the capital.
Destructive Cat 4 storm.
You're along I-5. Boston is in the bullseye.
Let's go.
ABC News Live, America's #1 streaming news. Anytime, anywhere. Streaming 24/7, straight to you for free.
Thank you for making ABC News Live America's #1 streaming news.
When I got sent to Idaho to cover the murders of 4 college students, it was a story that didn't make any sense. 4 students stabbed to death in their beds while 2 roommates were home.
You gotta think to yourself, okay, who's the target and how many people would a man go through to get to his target?
I'm Kana Whitworth with ABC News. This is the story of savage murders, a determined small-town police force, and a scholar of crime. This is the King Road Killings. The full series is out now. Listen to every episode wherever you get your podcasts.
Jenkins. Get ready, America, every Friday.
The hottest trends, styles, and must-have. What's the right stuff to buy right now? I really love that. It's time to buy the right stuff.
Yes!
And save big time, too.
The right stuff.
Fridays on GMA. You're gonna love it.
This is ABC News Live Prime.
Thanks so much for streaming with us.
Live reporting, breaking news, exclusives, award-winning, powerful, eye-opening. ABC News Live Prime with Lindsay Davis. Streaming weeknights.
All right, here we go. You ready? Let's do it.
Yes, it's the show America wants and America needs right now.
This is What Would You Do? Let's go. How are you? Yes.
So what will you be watching Saturdays on ABC News Live?
What would you do?
Hey, I guess I just found out.
The What Would You Do Marathon, 2 to 6 Eastern, every Saturday on ABC News Live.
My favorite show.
A big milestone has passed in the writer's strike. New details in the Gilgo serial killings case. And a day of fishing leads to a criminal investigation. These stories and much more in tonight's rundown.
The Hollywood writers' strike hitting the 100-day mark. Joined by actors at the beginning of July, neither union budging from their demands for higher pay, better staffing, and increased benefits.
This 100th day matches the length of the last major writers' strike in 2007 through 2008. But there doesn't appear to be a foreseeable end to this one, as a negotiation meeting last week between the writers and studios ended with little progress.
Former Las Vegas Raiders wide receiver Henry Ruggs III was sentenced to 3 to 10 years in prison for a 2021 drunk driving crash that killed a Las Vegas woman and her dog. 24-year-old Ruggs pled guilty in May to 1 count each of DUI, resulting in death and misdemeanor vehicular manslaughter. He read a statement in court apologizing to the family of Tina Tintor, who also had the chance to give their own statement, remembering Tintor and expressing hope that the incident inspires positive change.
New developments in the suspected serial killer case in New York. A judge on Long Island ordering suspect Rex Heuermann to provide a DNA sample, overruling objections from his attorneys. Prosecutors previously obtained his DNA from a pizza crust. He's pleaded not guilty to 3 murders, and he's considered the prime suspect in a 4th. Authorities found 10 bodies around the Gilgo Beach area.
Charges were dropped against a former Chicago police officer accused of assaulting a black woman walking her dog. The Cook County State's Attorney's Office said after consulting with Nikita Brown and her attorney, they would not proceed with criminal charges against former officer Bruce Diker. In body cam and cell phone video, Diker is seen approaching Brown and ordering her to leave the beach. Brown seen asking the unmasked Diker to maintain his distance. The encounter eventually turned physical, and Brown recounted the experience on Good Morning America.
I thought I was going to die. I thought he was going to kill me. I had it in my mind that I was going to be shot.
The mayor of Tampa, Florida, came away with a valuable and unexpected catch during a recent fishing trip. Mayor Jane Castor, who's also a former police chief, confirmed that she helped reel in 70 pounds of cocaine off the coast of the Florida Keys last month. Border Patrol officials said at the time that the drugs had a street value of $1.1 million and shared a photo of 25 bricks with butterfly stamps.
It had been in the water for a while because the plastic had split open, and I could see down in the tightly wrapped kilos, which I've worked a lot of years in narcotics.
Sugar man, won't you hurry? Sixto Rodriguez, the musician behind hits including Sugar Man, has died. Rodriguez released 2 albums in the 1970s, which did not sell well in the U.S. before eventually leaving music behind for years. But unbeknownst to Rodriguez, his music would become wildly popular overseas, particularly in South Africa. His story famously highlighted in the 2012 documentary Searching for Sugar Man, which won an Academy Award and thrust Rodriguez back in the spotlight. Rodriguez was 81 years old.
One very lucky winner has hit the Mega Millions jackpot, securing the largest win in the game's history. The winning ticket was sold just outside Jacksonville at a Publix supermarket in Neptune Beach, Florida. A ticket worth a whopping $1.58 billion, or $783.3 million if the winner decides to take the cash option. Our next guest is known as one of the rap pioneers paving the way in trap music, but today he's here to talk about his new book. Jeezy Jenkins reflects back on his life in his latest memoir and details the life lessons that he learned to achieve his dreams. In his first book, Adversity for Sale, You Gotta Believe, Jeezy shares never heard stories of what it took to get off the streets and change his life and career. Jeezy, kind enough to join us tonight, and we love it.
Yeah.
So, you write about your upbringing in the so-called Black Belt of Georgia, Hawkinsville.
Yeah.
So tell us about your childhood and where things started to go a little left.
Well, basically, I lived abroad. My father was in the Marines, so I lived Japan, Hawaii, all these things, and my mother and my father got a divorce, so I had to go back to South Georgia and Atlanta, where my other family lived, and it pretty much started from there. Of course, I was doing things before then, but it started from there because it was like a harsh reality of like, okay, now you're really in poverty and you got to figure your life out. So that's when the getting in the streets and starting to, do things that kids don't do started for me, for sure.
What was it for you? Do you remember the moment where you felt, I have to pivot, I can't continue down this road?
Well, I knew when I got in the streets that I wasn't gonna last there. When you start to see a lot of people die around you from a young age until you get into your early adulthood, then you start seeing people that was just standing beside you, now they're doing 20, 30 years in prison, and this is like the norm, and then that's when it clicks, like, you gotta figure something else out,
And you talk about that trauma of losing people close to you, and then the impact for you and really struggling with depression and really at times even contemplating suicide. What was it that brought you back from the brink of that?
I mean, it was so many different instances. I mean, the suicidal thing happened when I was actually in a boot camp, and I was facing the reality of having to go back home to what I just left, which was all this chaos, all this violence, all these things, and not having an out. So I had to really get myself to grips, like, you can do this, and you're gonna do that. The depression thing started when I actually started to get a career and became an artist, and I started to have success. But there was so many things going on around me that were trying to pull me back, and I didn't understand how to deal with it because I didn't have the wording.
You talk a lot about failures, and you do really, I mean, you talk about, if you're honest, I mean, it feels like that is what you do in this book.
Yes.
Is kind of pour out your heart there. And with regard to rap music, you talk about how it was like practice, fail, practice, fail, practice, fail.
Yes.
A lot of people, they get to a point when they feel like they fail, they're like, all right, I'm not going to do this anymore. What kept you pushing through?
What kept me pushing through is the game that I was playing. You can't just lose. You don't turn it into joystick. It's life or death, freedom or the penitentiary. So you can't stop, right? And if you stop, then you go back to poverty, and you're still stuck with it anyway, because you don't have to be doing anything to not live your life to the fullest where I'm from. So you got to believe that you can do this, because if you look where I came from, it was under the basement, right? And people might feel like I'm on top of the world, but I still am not where I want to be. So I'm still believing every day,
Back in 2001, you founded Street Dreams Foundation.
Yes.
Tell us about the mission of that nonprofit.
Well, I mean, it was basically to help the inner city kids, the kids that was in my neighborhood. Basically, I started getting money from people and adding money with it and buying Christmas gifts and renting out the gymnasium. That's how I started, and I did it for years and years and years. And again, just having that financial literacy, I didn't know you can get help, you know what I mean? So I was doing this out of pocket, and when I had my success as an artist, I continued to do it, and then I started to, get mentors like Tony Robbins and all these different guys, and they started to show me how to do it on a bigger level and actually get help, and that's where we at with it now. Street Dreams is very near and dear to my heart because it's for inner city youth, and I feel like who knows them better than me.
Jeezy, we thank you so much for
Sure.
your time and coming on the show. Want to let our viewers know his book, Adversity for Sale, You Gotta Believe, is out wherever books are sold. And if you or someone that you know might be contemplating suicide, please contact the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline by dialing 988, or you can go to 988lifeline.org. It is popularly known as breakdancing, but if you go around calling it that, some might look at you a little sideways and tell you it's called breaking. The quintessential hip-hop dance is considered the physical element of the 5 pillars of hip-hop. And tonight, as part of our ongoing coverage of the 50th anniversary of hip-hop, we give you a look at the past and future of breaking. Here's ABC's Ashin Singh.
In the South Bronx in the 1970s, a new kind of dance was emerging. Anyone could do it, and it didn't require much, besides maybe a piece of cardboard. Breaks in between songs gave dancers a chance to show up and show off. It's called breaking, and don't call it breakdancing.
Breaking is a term that they've developed too. It was b-boying. You know, b-boys to me meant breakers, boogie boys, Bronx boys, b-boys, you know, the Bronx. You know, we were b-boys.
The history of breaking is closely intertwined with hip-hop, and hip-hop history lives in its birthplace, the Bronx, at the Universal Hip Hop Museum. Tony Mr. Wave Wesley was there from the beginning.
It was a concrete jungle, that's what it was. And so just think about it, all of a sudden, thousands of kids learn these magnificent tools. You've never been to school for music, you've never been to dance school, you're not an artist.
But despite not being an artist in the traditional sense, Tony eventually got noticed by a dance group called the NYC Breakers. And the rest is history.
What did that mean back then to get a shot at being in the New York City Breakers?
We couldn't walk the streets. The kids were so empowered and they just wanted to be around us, and we gave them that. I danced so much, 20, 30 times a day, every time I walked, you know, because of the film Beat Street. And then we did Soul Train. Good Morning America.
That running dialogue to a steady beat is called rap music. And the mechanical kind of dancing is known as electric boogie. Both originated on the city streets of our country.
At what point did you realize this is bigger than the Bronx? That this art form is now traveling beyond where you grew up and it's captivating the youth everywhere?
The first show, because it made me see there's something bigger than the Bronx. So the first show was massive for me. But Harry Belafonte, who you have to give praise to, he was the catalyst when he did the movie Beat Street.
Stop, look, and listen, and check this out. Beat Street. Beat Street.
So the evolution is what you're seeing. And this evolution is caused by cameras, film, YouTube. But you know, it's evolving so much that the Olympics had to take a look at it.
At next year's Summer Olympics in Paris, for the first time ever, breakers from all over the world will compete for the gold medal.
The challenge for them in the Olympic is to be able to score. You don't have to do 65 head spins. You have to be coordinated to where that number hits its mark. Similar to the gymnastics, they flip, flip, flip. If they step 1 foot back, they lose a point.
Sonny Choi is ready for that challenge. The Queens-based breaker is one of few Olympians chosen to represent the U.S. at the Olympics in Paris next year.
I had decided to pursue the thing that I loved in life, you know? I mean, working corporate, having a paycheck, it was definitely really scary to give that all up, to pursue breaking full-time.
A risk that she says paid off.
A few months in, how does it feel? Liberating?
I feel so good.
It feels good.
It feels so good. I'd like never look back.
You're a Korean American woman performing a historically black art form, and it's 50 years of hip hop. What does it say about you being here in this time, about the culture's growth and the heights that it's reached?
I've actually always struggled with my place in hip-hop because I'm a Korean American woman, because I felt like I don't quite belong or I don't quite fit. What I've learned over time is like this whole culture has been so open and actually warm and welcoming to me, and it was really just me telling myself I didn't belong. Even when I first started breaking, I used to just sit in the corner and just watch everyone else dance because I was too scared to actually do it myself.
Most breaking pioneers have embraced the terms b-boy and b-girl, separating the sexes.
So this is all the hardware.
It is some of it.
Choi goes by B-Girl Sunny in the breaking community, but her B-Girl title hasn't stopped her from winning battles against her fellow male competitors.
How does the sport change for women?
There's actually a lot more opportunity now for women than there were before. There were always women in the scene, but it's like so many of them people didn't really talk about, or they're kind of in the background, or you had like one token B-girl in your crew.
As she prepares for the Olympics next year, it's an opportunity not just for B-Girl Sunny, but for all young women and the next generation of breakers.
And I just feel like hopefully with everything that the Olympics brings in terms of exposure and money, that also funnels back into the community. Because if you know the history, then you can take that and really move the art form in a direction that feels true, as opposed to not knowing the history and then doing whatever you want with it.
History that was made by an OG like Tony and will continue to live on in this museum.
The museum will inspire them to look backwards and see what we've done. I mean, I don't think anybody else will be able to dance with 3 presidents like I did. That's mine. You can't erase me.
Our thanks to Ashin for that. And finally tonight, a passing of note in the music world. One of rock's greatest songwriters and musicians for one of its most respected bands. Here's ABC's Whit Johnson.
Robbie Robertson told life's most enduring stories through song. As the lead writer and guitarist for the legendary rock and roll band named simply The Band, they were simply one of America's greatest. Their hit song, The Weight.
Take a load off Fanny. Take a load for free.
There was The Night They Drove Dixie Down. And Up on Cripple Creek. Robbie Robertson was a self-taught musician who would say he drew inspiration from America, from great American novels and the blues and gospel music. Robertson speaking often of the band's bond.
I was an only child, so this brotherhood was so powerful.
Earlier today, his manager saying he died in Los Angeles surrounded by his family after a long illness. He was 80 years old. Tonight, Robbie Robertson, in his own words, when once asked about his drive on what keeps him going.
I'm not big on retracing my footsteps and going back to things. You know, I'm much more curious about what's around the next corner and what the next challenge is.
Put the Lord right on me.
Our thanks to Whit for bringing us that. And that's our show for this hour. I'm Lindsay Davis. Stay tuned to ABC News Live for more context and analysis of the day's top stories. Thanks so much for streaming with us. And coming up in the next hour, use of the diabetes drug Ozempic surged in popularity as it became increasingly used for weight loss. Why it's now leading to rising backlash. And air quality deemed so bad that it led to a court ruling, the city topping the list of the world's most polluted places.
This is ABC News Live Prime.
Thanks so much for streaming with us.
Live reporting, breaking news, exclusives, award-winning, powerful, eye-opening. ABC News Live Prime with Lindsay Davis. Streaming weeknights. From America's #1 news comes the all-new ABC News app. Breaking news, incredible video, faster, smarter, and customizable to your interests. If you love being in the know, you're gonna love this. Experience the all-new ABC News app. Download it now. This is where the newsmakers come first in the morning to be heard. America's #1 morning show.
How would your mom feel about your relationship with your brother now?
I can't imagine what it feels like to go from $20 billion to $100,000. Yeah. Are you worried about going to jail?
You write that you had low-grade depression. How'd you get out of that?
Wherever the story, ABC's Good Morning America is right there.
This is ABC News Live.
The crush of families here in Poland.
At refugee centers
in Putin's Russia.
On the ground in Ukraine.
Close to the front line.
From the capital, destructive Cat 4 storm.
Here along I-5. Boston is in the bullseye.
Let's go.
ABC News Live, America's #1 streaming news. Anytime, anywhere. Streaming 24/7, straight to you for free.
Thank you for making ABC News Live America's #1 streaming news.
It was the ideal marriage. Little did I know I was married to a man who had done something so horrible that it would devastate our lives forever.
Teacher of the Year is now charged with sex crimes.
Only on Hulu.
He was living a double life.
The shocking story behind a #1 true crime podcast.
Prostitutes, escorts. He even cheated on me the week of our wedding.
Betrayal, the perfect husband.
He had a lot of fantasies.
Now streaming only on Hulu.
All right, here we go. You ready? Let's do it.
Yes, it's the show America wants and America needs right now.
This is What Would You Do? Let's go. How are you?
Yeah. So what will you be watching Saturdays on ABC News Live?
What would you do?
Hey, I guess I just found out.
The What Would You Do Marathon, 2 to 6 Eastern, every Saturday on ABC News Live.
My favorite show.
When I got sent to Idaho to cover the murders of 4 college students, it was a story that didn't make any sense. 4 students stabbed to death in their beds while 2 roommates were home.
You gotta think to yourself, okay, who's the target and how many people would a man go through to get to his target?
I'm Kana Whitworth with ABC News. This is the story of savage murders, a determined small-town police force, and a scholar of crime. This is the King Road Killings. The full series is out now. Listen to every episode wherever you get your podcasts.
Reporting from Monterey Park, California, I'm Robin Roberts. Wherever the story is, we're going to take you there. You're streaming ABC News Live.
Good evening, everyone. This is ABC News Live Prime. I'm Lindsay Davis. Thanks so much for streaming with us. We've got a lot of news to get to this evening, including wildfires burning across Maui, prompting mass evacuations, roadblocks, and travel standstills as hospitals are overwhelmed with burn victims. We'll have a view from the ground. Plus, the police officer being hailed as a hero after helping to save a baby on the way to the hospital. And the capital now topping the list of the world's most polluted cities. But we do begin with the urgent situation in Hawaii as a fast-moving and deadly inferno has sparked a desperate evacuation. Some people literally jumping into the Pacific Ocean to try to escape the approaching flames. The wildfire on the island of Maui exploded in size after gusty mountain winds were amplified by Hurricane Dora, which is moving across the Pacific hundreds of miles to the south. The stark reality tonight, at least 6 people are dead, and parts of the town of Lahaina and its historic district, which is very significant to Native Hawaiians, have burnt to the ground. People who have called this place home for generations are now in jeopardy of losing their homes. And there are those who thought that they would have a peaceful vacation in a place some call paradise. Instead, they're now having to rush to safety. Gio Benitez leads us off tonight on the ground in Hawaii.
Tonight, the harrowing race to escape the wind-whipped inferno exploding in Maui. Terrified families desperately fleeing the flames and smoke-filled streets. Homes all around burning to the ground. Moments ago, officials confirming at least 6 people losing their lives. 6 fires erupting on the islands of Maui and Hawaii Tuesday, destroying hundreds of homes and businesses, forcing mass evacuations, at least a dozen people jumping into the ocean to get away in Lahaina.
Lahaina is on fire.
Apocalyptic scenes in that popular tourist town and historic cultural landmark home to 12,000 people. Steve Scott desperately trying to fight back the flames. And you were essentially trapped in the middle of the fire.
Right. I was with a hose shooting it up, trying to protect our building, and Plantation House, all of that blew up.
Getting separated from his wife.
I'm trying to find my wife. I know she's safe. I think she's safe, but I haven't found her yet.
And you can see the powerful winds here right now. You could also see that dry terrain that quite literally created the perfect storm for a fire this devastating. And right here, this is the one road in and out of Lahaina, making it incredibly difficult to just get out. Lahaina's iconic Front Street, with buildings dating back to the 1700s ravaged by flames. Dustin Johnson describing the moment he escaped.
I was the last one off the dock when the firestorm came through the banyan tree and took everything with it. And I just ran out to the beach and I ran south and I just helped everybody I could along the way.
Officials say that 150-year-old banyan tree, treasured by both locals and tourists alike, is gone.
If you got someplace to go, someone's house.
Okay, we will.
KITV meteorologist Malika Dudley dropping everything, evacuating with her family from Kula.
There was a red glow outside of our window. The fire was right above our property.
Oh my gosh, look at the harbor.
Daylight revealing the scope of the devastation here. Aerial video showing home after home destroyed.
We were not prepared for what we saw. It was heartbreaking. It looked like an area that had been bombed in a war.
Authorities saying 911 services down in some areas. Hospitals are overwhelmed with burn patients.
Buildings are charred. Fires are not completely contained, and there's still fear that the fires would go into different communities.
Our thanks to Gio for that. Now let's bring in ABC senior meteorologist Rob Marciano. Rob, how long will this unusual weather pattern in Hawaii be driving those powerful winds?
Well, it is unusual, and it created this horrific event. Lindsay, you're right about that. It is shifting a little bit to the west, and as we continue to do that, we will see improvement. But tomorrow is going to be better than today. Right now, we still have winds that 50, 60 miles an hour are going to be an issue. High pressure over the northern Pacific. Hurricane Dora was very close to the island, but it's that pressure gradient between the two that amplified those easterly trade winds and got them to 70, 80 miles an hour tomorrow. But as we shift that west, that's when we'll start to temper these winds. But the next several hours, with those dry fuels, we have red flag warnings up. Very dry across all the islands, and wind advisories will remain up until 6 o'clock local, but tomorrow should be a better day, Lindsay.
And, Rob, also time out, if you can, the severe weather that you're tracking on the mainland as well.
Yeah, pretty impressive system here that's bringing pockets of severe weather. We have tornado watches across 4 states, Oklahoma, Kansas, Missouri, and Arkansas. Look at all the flood watches across the Mid-South and through Paducah, just north of Memphis, and up the Ohio River Valley as well. Strong storms expected to come through Alabama and Georgia tonight, and then everything kind of congeals over the Mid-Atlantic and Northeast during the day tomorrow, and we'll probably see wind, rain, thunderstorms, heavy rain potentially right around the evening rush, and we'll probably see some flooding along the I-95 corridor around this time tomorrow evening. Lindsay?
All right, Rob Marciano for us. Our thanks to you as always, Rob. Next tonight, the FBI announced that they have shot and killed a Utah man while trying to arrest him in connection with threats against President Biden just hours before the president was set to arrive in Utah. The criminal complaint listed his alleged violent social media posts and online suggestions that he planned to take action. Mola Lange reports.
Tonight, just hours before President Biden's arrival in Utah, the FBI says a Provo man was fatally shot as agents tried to arrest him for threatening to assassinate the president. Authorities say 75-year-old Craig Robertson made credible threats, posting to social media just 3 days ago. I hear Biden is coming to Utah, digging out my old ghillie suit and cleaning the dust off the M24 sniper rifle. Welcome, buffoon-in-chief. A federal complaint revealing dozens of Robertson's posts, including pictures of an arsenal of weapons, images of Robertson dressed in camouflage clothing, armed with a long-range rifle, and multiple references to killing the president. The FBI says its investigation also uncovered threats against law enforcement and other public officials, including Vice President Kamala Harris, Attorney General Merrick Garland, and California Governor Gavin Newsom. After a months-long investigation, the FBI moving in early this morning.
The tipping point to me was President Biden was coming. He was going to be in close proximity, and this individual looked like he was on a planning path to carry out the attack.
Our thanks to Mola. Now to the new developments in the investigations involving former President Trump. ABC News has learned that Special Counsel Jack Smith obtained a search warrant for Trump's Twitter account. And for the first time, we're now seeing what prosecutors call the fraudulent elector memo, laying out the strategy that led up to January 6th. Here's ABC's Chief Justice correspondent Pierre Thomas.
Tonight, ABC News has obtained a key piece of evidence referencing Special Counsel Jack Smith's indictment of Donald Trump for alleged election interference. The evidence, a memo from attorney Kenneth Chesebro, whom ABC News has identified as likely being co-conspirator number 5. The special counsel describes the document, first obtained by the New York Times, as a fraudulent elector memo. saying it was designed to create a fake controversy that would derail the proper certification of Biden as president-elect on January 6th. The memo, according to the special counsel, involved a scheme to send slates of so-called fake electors to Washington to falsely claim that Trump had won in their states. In the memo dated December 6, 2020, Attorney Cheesebro appears to acknowledge his idea of sending alternate slates of electors might not be legal. At one point writing, "I recognize what I suggest is a bold, controversial strategy." And the memo makes clear that the plan was for then Vice President Pence to stop the certification of Joe Biden as president in its tracks, suggesting that Pence take the position that it is his constitutional power and duty alone as president of the Senate to both open and count the votes. Pence and most legal scholars say he had no such authority to block certified election results.
The first time I heard in early December somebody suggest that as vice president I might be able to decide which votes to reject and which to accept, I knew that it was false.
Our thanks to Pierre. There's a new health scare tonight for Senator Dianne Feinstein. The 90-year-old California Democrat tripped and fell at her home in San Francisco. Her office says that she went to the hospital briefly for tests and is now back at home. But it does come amid growing concerns about the senator's health and just how fit she is to serve. Here's ABC's Mary Bruce.
Tonight, California Senator Dianne Feinstein is recovering after tripping over a chair at her home in San Francisco, according to her staff. Her office says the 90-year-old briefly went to the hospital yesterday afternoon as a precaution after a minor fall. All of her scans were clear, and she returned home. It comes amid growing concerns and debate over the health and age of lawmakers in Congress and their ability to serve.
Hi, everybody.
The oldest member of Congress, Feinstein, was hospitalized earlier this year for a severe case of shingles and then encephalitis, an inflammation of the brain, returning to work in May after a 3-month absence. And just weeks ago, Feinstein appeared confused during a routine vote.
Senator Feinstein.
The senator mistakenly starting to read a statement.
I would like to support a yes vote on this. It provides $823 billion.
Until an aide and a fellow senator stepped in to guide her.
Yeah, just say aye. Okay, just aye. Thank you.
Feinstein's office saying the senator was preoccupied and didn't realize debate had just ended and a vote was called.
Thanks to Mary for that. Now to Russia, where a powerful explosion on the grounds of a factory outside Moscow injured 57 people and killed 1. It came just hours after Russia shot down 2 drones over Moscow. ABC Chief Foreign Correspondent Ian Pannell has more.
Tonight, a massive explosion ripping through a military plant outside Moscow. A huge smoke cloud rising above the site. These dramatic images captured in videos circulating online. The plant makes equipment for the Russian military as well as other industries. Surrounding houses and windows shattered. 60 were injured and at least 8 missing, 1 person later dying in the hospital. The official explanation that this was a fireworks site that exploded. But a retired military explosives expert telling ABC News while it could be fireworks, it seems unlikely. And this video circulating online showing what appears to be a military shell nearby.
And now to the rising backlash against the use of the diabetes drug Ozempic for weight loss after it surged in popularity over the last year. So why are some people now being shamed for using it? Here's ABC's Ariel Reshef.
She's the feisty attorney turned castmate of the Real Housewives of Orange County.
You are 2 different people, Shannon.
But Emily Simpson says behind her bold persona on the show,
so it's okay to body shame,
was depression linked to her battle with her weight.
I think I was the heaviest I'd ever been. I went to the doctor and she said, oh, there's this new weight loss drug. It's a semaglutide. I think you should try it. You would probably lose some weight.
So she started taking Ozempic, the wildly popular diabetes drug being used off-label by millions for weight loss, on top of surgery and lifestyle changes.
So Ozempic was very effective for me. I did Ozempic in November, December timeframe. I had liposuction in my arms in January and a lift and a breast reduction. And then for the past 6 months, I've been working out and eating a completely different diet than I ever had in my past.
But Emily says she soon faced very public shaming.
A lot of women also comment things like, Well, I just changed my diet and work out, and I lost 40 pounds. And I just don't understand why we feel the need to shame someone because they did something differently than someone else would.
A similar story for 36-year-old Ashley Rowe, who shared her journey online.
Since I started Ozempic March 5th, I just hit 40 pounds. I've lost.
She says it helped her shed pounds and gain renewed self-esteem.
It's boosted my confidence.
But she also quickly faced an onslaught of criticism.
There's people that are hoping that something bad will happen to me later on and that I'm going to pay for this.
Both women say they do not have diabetes, but took Ozempic under the guidance of their doctors, never expecting the negative commentary. Experts say the stigma is unfair and point out other similar drugs are explicitly approved for weight loss.
To shame people because they're using an agent that's helping them lose weight and keep and get healthy is unconscionable.
Our thanks to Ariel, and a reminder to consult your physician before trying any of these drugs. Still much more to get to tonight. Coming up, efforts to restore democracy, the accusations made against a European country as Niger's military junta met with Nigerian envoys. But next, turning taboo and sometimes scary topics into comedy. Sashir Zamata tells us how she's finding comedy in her real-life experiences.
Whenever news breaks,
the crush of families here in Poland.
Here in Kentucky, no match for the tornado.
From Monterey Park, California, on the ground in Ukraine.
Reporting from Uvalde, Texas, ABC News Live is right there everywhere.
From the scene of that deadly missile strike in Dnipro, Ukraine.
Reporting from the earthquake in Turkey.
From Charleston, South Carolina, on the 2024 campaign trail.
From Kathmandu, Nepal.
Truckee, California, covering record snowfall.
Traveling with the president in Mexico City.
Wherever the story.
Here at this airport in Tampa, it's already shut down.
Reporting from the nurses on the picket line.
Reporting from Jerusalem.
Here at 10 Downing Street in London. Streaming live to you.
Wherever the story is.
Wherever the story is.
Wherever the story is. We're going to take you there.
You're streaming
ABC News Live.
ABC News Live.
You're streaming ABC News Live.
ABC News Live. Streaming free everywhere. America's #1 streaming news.
All right, here we go. You ready? Let's do it.
Yes, it's the show America wants and America needs right now.
This is What Would You Do? Let's go. How are you? Yeah.
So what will you be watching Saturdays on ABC News Live?
What would you do?
Hey, I guess I just found out. The What Would You Do Marathon, 2 to 6 Eastern, every Saturday on ABC News Live.
My favorite show.
Reporting from Columbiana, Ohio, I'm Alex Perchet. Wherever the story is, we'll take you there. You're streaming ABC News Live.
Welcome back, everyone. We are tracking several headlines around the world. Niger's military junta met with 2 Nigerian envoys today, offering hope for dialogue before a summit that could result in military action to restore democracy. The talks took place as Niger accused France of violating its airspace, attacking a military camp, and freeing terrorists to undermine the country. Paris has denied the charges. Indonesia's capital of Jakarta topped the list as the world's most polluted city, having consistently ranked among the 10 most polluted cities globally since May. Jakarta residents have long complained of toxic air, and some of them even launched and won a civil lawsuit back in 2021 demanding the government take action to control air pollution. The court at the time ruled that President Joko Widodo must establish national air quality standards to protect human health. Cubans flocked to the beach as temperatures on the Caribbean island hit 104 degrees Fahrenheit in a fierce heat wave. Growing frequency and intensity of severe weather, both on land and in ocean, is symptomatic of global human-driven climate change that is fueling extremes. That's according to experts. Heat waves are expected to persist throughout August. Our next guest is one of the great voices of comedy today, and she's now out with a new comedy special, The First Woman. Let's take a look.
We left, went dancing, found strangers, did their drugs, and made it back safely because we're adults. But I thought about that moment, and I was like, why wasn't I scared? I feel like me in my 20s would have been scared and been like, oh, we are just two women. Maybe we do need a man. But me today, I'm like, I dare you.
Sashir Zameda is here with us in studio. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yes, thank you for having me.
So this seems like an exciting project, which you produced.
Yes.
How did it all come together?
This is my second special, and I really wanted to do something where I felt like I was in control of my art and where it goes and how I do it. And this is a very cool process where I got to know so much about producing my own thing and the inception of a whole production, and I'm just excited for people to see it.
Why is it called First Woman?
I want people to know that this is a very woman-forward special. I talk about me as a woman, women's bodies, our anatomy, women's health, women's history in this country. It's very woman heavy. So I feel like after you watch it, you'll get it. But The First Woman kind of encapsulates all that.
And so where do you come up with material for this? I mean, obviously, it's very personal because you talk about sex and being a woman, being a Black woman.
Yeah.
At what point do you decide, not only do I think that that's funny, because I'm the kind of person, like, I'll laugh at my own jokes, nobody else laughs. How do you know that it's something that's so relatable that everybody's going to laugh?
I mean, I hope everybody laughs, but I kind of use the audience to help me figure that out. Like, I test it out on stage, I test it out on the road, and it's like a symbiotic relationship where, like, I give, but I'm also receiving a lot of information from the crowd. So if they're vibing with something, I might go more that direction. If they're not, I'm like, well, let's maybe rewrite that.
And so when and how do you go about cultivating that material?
I mean, I have like a whole notes app of just random thoughts, like things that confuse me or anger me. Like, I have a joke about cars with eyelashes, and it's truly because I saw a car with eyelashes and I was like, what? Why? Why is that still a thing? And what is the thought process of the driver?
Let's take a look at another clip.
Hit the ground, and most of the impact happened on my arm, and that's actually where I get the scar from. And I've had people in my life ask me if I want to get this cosmetically removed, but I actually really like having the scar because it's a nice reminder. It reminds me that I went through something and that tomorrow's not promised and that danger's at every corner. You got to keep your head on a swivel. You never know when someone's going to come out of nowhere and try to make your life hell when you're just minding your own damn business, and maybe that's where some of the anxiety comes from.
How do you make stories like that funny? I mean, I know that for a long time there's a history, really, of comedians taking kind of tragic situations and finding that little bright light to make us all laugh. But
Yeah.
how do you decide, you know, when it's appropriate, and especially during this time of political correctness?
Oh, I mean, I feel like it's a mix of time or just knowing how you're going to phrase something. I think you can make anything funny, even tragic things, but it just depends on how you're phrasing it. When I got hit by a car in college, and that's been a story I wanted to tell for years, but I didn't know how, and then eventually I started, like, finding other threads in my material, talking about health and women's health and going to the hospital, and it kind of tied in really well. So, yeah, I think
Of course, many labor unions are striking right now, SAG-AFTRA, the Writers Guild. When do you see resolution, and what do you think would be the moment that you say, okay, we can accept this?
I really have no clue when the resolution is going to happen. I hope soon. I mean, I do think it helps that there's so many people striking, the writers and the actors. Like, things cannot be made right now. And it's really unfortunate that it affects so many people. Like, it's also crew members, it's also caterers, it's background people, there's stunt people. It's like so many people who are affected by these strikes, and I hope that we can come to a resolution soon. Also, the audience is going to be affected by this too, because eventually you're going to run out of things to watch. Yeah, so I hope that studio heads see that and see that there will continue to be a demand for artists and their work, and figure out how to make it right.
Sashir, we thank you so much for coming on. Want to let our viewers know The First Woman will be available August 15th on 800 Pound Gorilla and will also be on YouTube August 29th. And still to come, the hero officer who helped save a baby born on the way to the hospital. That story when we come back.
When I got sent to Idaho to cover the murders of 4 college students, it was a story that didn't make any sense. 4 students stabbed to death in their beds while 2 roommates were home.
You gotta think to yourself, okay, who's the target and how many people would a man go through to get to his target?
I'm Kana Whitworth with ABC News. This is the story of savage murders, a determined small-town police force, and a scholar of crime. This is the King Road Killings. The full series is out now. Listen to every episode wherever you get your podcasts.
With so much at stake, so much on the line, more Americans turn here than any other newscast. ABC News World News Tonight with David Muir, America's #1 most watched newscast across all of television. From America's #1 news comes the all-new ABC News app. Breaking news, incredible video, faster, smarter, and customizable to your interests. If you love being in the know, you're gonna love this. Experience the all-new ABC News app. Download it now.
All right, here we go. You ready? Let's do it.
Yes, it's the show America wants and America needs right now.
This is What Would You Do? Let's go. How are you? Yes.
So what will you be watching Saturdays on ABC News Live?
What would you do?
Hey, I guess I just found out.
The What Would You Do Marathon, 2 to 6 Eastern, every Saturday on ABC News Live.
My favorite show.
And before we go, a police officer is being hailed a hero after helping to save a baby who was born in the car on the way to the hospital. ABC's Janae Norman has that story.
You're watching the harrowing moments a police officer jumps in to help save a newborn baby.
Where's the baby? What's going on?
Miguel Covarrubias was rushing his pregnant wife, who was having contractions, to an emergency room in New Mexico last month, and the baby couldn't wait.
She's like, hey, so I feel like I feel the baby coming. I can feel his head, pushing.
New Mexico State Police Officer Ismael Perez says he saw the 24-year-old run a red light, and when he got out of the car at the ER, realized something was wrong. Miguel's wife had given birth in the car, and the baby's umbilical cord was compressed, and he wasn't breathing.
Go get the nurse. Tell him to hurry up.
I do hear the baby crying at this time.
State police is on scene.
That's when Officer Perez starts tapping the newborn's back, trying to clear its throat.
There we go. There you go. Keep crying for me. Keep crying for me. Keep crying for me. I have 3 kids of my own, so I've seen the doctors do that with my daughters because they came out of the womb the same way, not crying or anything. So I did the same thing.
Mom, Dad, and the baby, named Miguel Jr., are home and doing well. Thankful Officer Perez was nearby.
It's a boy. Congrats, brother.
I was terrified. I didn't know what to do. And for him to jump into action the way he did and help me out, I just thank you.
There we go.
So nice to see Miguel now doing well. And that is our show for tonight. I'm Lindsay Davis. ABC News Live is here for you all night with the latest news, context, and analysis. You can always find us on Hulu, Roku, the ABC News app, and of course on abcnews.com. Have a great night. This is ABC News Live.
The crush of